Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that some of the most powerful figures in American history weren't just politicians, businessmen, or military leaders, but also members of secret societies? Groups that met behind closed doors, swearing oaths of secrecy, influencing major events, and shaping the course of the nation. Were they truly pulling the strings? Or is this all just myth and speculation? From the Freemasons, whose symbols are woven into the very fabric of American history, to the Skull and Bones Society, rumored to have groomed elite leaders, the whispers of secret societies have echoed through the corridors of power for centuries. Some say they were merely social clubs, exclusive networks of influential men. Others believe they orchestrated revolutions, wars, and policies that changed the world. The infamous Bavarian Illuminati, often portrayed as the shadowy force behind global conspiracies, has long been linked to America's founding ideals. And then there's the Knights of the Golden Circle, an organization shrouded in Civil War-era intrigue, allegedly plotting the expansion of a Southern empire. The question is, how much influence did these groups really have? Were they the hidden architects of history, or has their power been exaggerated over time? In this video, we're diving deep into the truth behind these secret societies, separating historical fact from conspiracy fiction. From documented influence to wild speculation, we'll examine their real impact on American history and whether they're still shaping the world today. The Freemasons are perhaps the most well-known secret society associated with American history, with deep roots stretching back to medieval Europe. Originally a guild of stonemasons who built cathedrals and castles, Freemasonry evolved into a fraternity emphasizing personal enlightenment, brotherhood, and moral virtue. By the 18th century, it had transformed into a powerful and exclusive network of influential men, many of whom played significant roles in shaping the United States. Freemasonry played a significant role in shaping early American history, influencing many of the founding fathers who helped establish the nation. This secretive yet influential fraternal organization, rooted in Enlightenment ideals, emphasized principles such as moral virtue, self-improvement, and civic responsibility. These values resonated strongly with the leaders of the American Revolution and the early republic, who sought to create a government based on liberty and democratic governance. George Washington, the first president of the United States, was one of the most prominent Freemasons of his time. He was initiated into the Fredericksburg Lodge in Virginia in 1752, at the age of 20. Throughout his life, Washington maintained a connection to Freemasonry, viewing it as a source of ethical guidance and a unifying force in a young and divided nation. His commitment to the fraternity was evident in symbolic moments, such as his use of a Masonic Bible during his first presidential oath in 1789. This act underscored the profound influence of Freemasonry in the formation of American political traditions. Another influential Freemason was Benjamin Franklin, a key figure in both American and European political circles. Franklin joined the fraternity in 1731 and quickly became an advocate for its ideals, even serving as Grand Master of the Masonic Lodge of Pennsylvania. His connection to Freemasonry extended beyond the American colonies. During his time in France, Franklin was active in the French Masonic movement, where he used the fraternity's networks to strengthen alliances that were crucial to securing French support for the American Revolution. His belief in reason, tolerance, and fraternity mirrored both the ideals of the Enlightenment and the guiding principles of Freemasonry. Many other leaders of the American Revolution and the early United States government were affiliated with Freemasonry. John Hancock, famous for his bold signature on the Declaration of Independence, was an active Freemason, as was Paul Revere, the patriot known for his midnight ride to warn of British troop movements. Revere not only participated in the revolutionary cause, but also held leadership positions within the Masonic Order, illustrating the organization's widespread influence among colonial elites. Additionally, members of the Continental Congress and signers of foundational documents, such as the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, often had Masonic ties. The reason Freemasonry was so appealing to the leaders of early America lay in its core principles. The fraternity's emphasis on liberty, equality, and fraternity resonated with the democratic aspirations of the new nation. Freemasonry promoted The idea that men of different social backgrounds could come together as equals, bound by shared values and mutual respect. In an era when traditional aristocratic privileges were being challenged, the fraternity provided a model of leadership based on merit rather than birthright. Furthermore, Masonic lodges served as important meeting places where ideas about governance, rights, and national identity could be discussed freely. These gatherings allowed for the exchange of Enlightenment ideals, reinforcing concepts such as constitutional government, separation of powers, and religious tolerance. The secrecy and rituals of Freemasonry also provided a sense of unity and loyalty among its members, creating a network of trust that proved valuable in the revolutionary struggle and the building of the new republic. Despite its positive influence, Freemasonry also faced criticism and suspicion. Some feared that its secretive nature and influence over political leaders made it a potential threat to democratic governance. Over time, the fraternity's prominence in American politics declined as anti-Masonic sentiments grew in the 19th century, culminating in the rise of the Anti-Masonic Party, the first third party in U.S. history. Nevertheless, the impact of Freemasonry on early America remains undeniable. Many of the foundational ideals of the United States, freedom, equality, and civic duty, were reinforced and spread through the networks of this fraternity, shaping the course of American history. Freemasonry's influence on American history extends beyond the membership of its prominent figures. Many believe that Masonic ideals and symbols were intentionally woven into the very fabric of the nation's identity. This is particularly evident in the design of American iconography, architecture, and national symbols, which some argue contain embedded esoteric meanings linked to Freemasonry. While the extent of this influence remains a topic of debate, the presence of certain imagery and the role of known Freemasons in shaping national emblems have fueled speculation for centuries. One of the most frequently cited examples of potential Masonic symbolism in American design is the U.S. dollar bill. The reverse side of the bill features the Great Seal of the United States, which prominently displays an unfinished pyramid topped by an eye enclosed in a radiant triangle. This symbol, commonly known as the all-seeing eye, or the Eye of Providence, has been widely associated with Freemasonry due to its use in Masonic rituals and lodge symbolism. In Masonic tradition, the all-seeing eye represents divine oversight, wisdom, and the omnipresence of God, reflecting the fraternity's emphasis on moral and ethical guidance. However, its use in the Great Seal predates its adoption by Freemasonry, as the symbol was historically used in Christian art and European heraldry. The pyramid beneath the eye, composed of 13 layers of stone, is often interpreted as a reference to the original 13 American colonies. Some theorists suggest that the unfinished nature of the pyramid symbolizes the idea of an evolving and ever-improving nation. The Latin phrases inscribed on the seal, annuit coeptis, he, God has favored our undertakings, and Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages, have also been linked to Masonic themes of divine providence and societal advancement. However, historical records indicate that these phrases were inspired by classical Latin literature rather than Masonic texts, and their inclusion was primarily intended to reflect the founders' Enlightenment-era worldview. The Great Seal of the United States, which appears on the dollar bill, was finalized in 1782 after contributions from multiple committees, including input from Charles Thomson, a known Freemason and Secretary of the Continental Congress. Thomson's role in refining the design has fueled speculation that Masonic symbolism was deliberately embedded within it. The eagle on the seal, clutching an olive branch and arrows, represents the balance between peace and military readiness. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of 13 stars arranged in a hexagram, which some interpret as another hidden Masonic symbol, though it is officially meant to represent the unity of the original states. Beyond currency and national seals, Masonic influence is often alleged in the architectural layout of Washington, D.C. Pierre-Charles L'Enfant, who designed the city's street plan, was not a Freemason, but several of the city's planners and surveyors, including Andrew Ellicott and Benjamin Latrobe, had Masonic connections. Some claim that the city's layout includes hidden geometric patterns linked to Freemasonry, such as pentagrams, squares, and compasses, though urban planning historians argue that these shapes are coincidental or simply byproducts of 18th century city design principles. The cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol was laid in 1793 in a Masonic ceremony officiated by George Washington, further solidifying the fraternity's association with the founding of the nation's capital. Despite these links, there is no definitive historical proof that Freemasons intentionally embedded secret messages within American symbols. Many of the motifs commonly associated with Freemasonry, such as the eye, the pyramid, and Latin mottos, were already widely used in Western art, heraldry, and political iconography. However, the fraternity's presence in the early United States and the active participation of its members in shaping national institutions suggest that its ideals had at least an indirect influence on the nation's foundational imagery. Whether these elements were placed with deliberate Masonic intent or simply reflect the broader Enlightenment ideals that many founding fathers subscribed to remains a subject of ongoing debate and fascination. Perhaps even more compelling is the design of Washington, D.C. itself. The city's layout, planned by Pierre-Charles L'Enfant, features numerous geometric patterns that some claim contain hidden Masonic messages, including pentagrams and compass-like shapes. The placement of key government buildings, such as the U.S. Capitol and the White House, has fueled speculation that Freemasonry had a direct hand in shaping the nation's power centers. So, does this prove that Freemasons secretly controlled the formation of the United States? The truth is more nuanced. While it is undeniable that many of America's early leaders were Freemasons, historical evidence suggests they were not following some grand, secretive agenda. Rather, Freemasonry was a social and philosophical fraternity that attracted ambitious, educated men who were already in positions of influence. Its symbols and ideals naturally found their way into American culture, not as part of a hidden plot, but as reflections of the Enlightenment-era values that many of the founding fathers shared. Despite this, conspiracy theories persist. Some believe that Freemasons continue to wield hidden power over global affairs, while others argue that their influence has waned over time, evolving into little more than a fraternal organization. Regardless of where the truth lies, one thing is certain. The Freemasons left an indelible mark on American history, and their legacy continues to spark debate to this day. The Illuminati is one of the most infamous secret societies in history, often associated with conspiracy theories about controlling the world from behind the scenes. The idea of an all-powerful Illuminati pulling the strings of governments, banks, and media has been deeply embedded in popular culture. But how much truth is there to these claims? Did the Illuminati ever have real influence in America? Or is it just a modern myth? The Illuminati originated in Bavaria in 1776, founded by Adam Weishaupt, a professor of canon law at the University of Ingolstadt. Weishaupt, influenced by Enlightenment philosophy, sought to create a society that would promote reason, secularism, and free thought, in opposition to the prevailing religious and political institutions of the time. At a period when the Catholic Church and European monarchies wielded immense power, Weishaupt envisioned a group that could subtly influence society toward a more rational and egalitarian order. Weishaupt initially called his organization the Perfectibilists, reflecting his belief in the perfectibility of human society through knowledge and moral improvement. However, the name was later changed to the Illuminati, derived from the Latin illuminatus, meaning enlightened. The group operated as a secret society, adopting hierarchical structures and elaborate initiation rituals to maintain exclusivity and ensure loyalty among its members. Inspired by the structure of the Freemasons, Weishaupt sought to infiltrate Masonic lodges and recruit members from within, leveraging their existing networks to expand his influence. At its height, the Bavarian Illuminati had between 2,000 and 3,000 members, including prominent intellectuals, scientists, and political figures. Many of its members were drawn from academia and other elite circles, and they engaged in discussions about philosophy, politics, and social reform. While the group's stated goals revolved around the spread of Enlightenment ideals, such as individual liberty, rational governance, and opposition to superstition, its secretive nature led to widespread speculation about its true motives. The Illuminati's growth and influence eventually attracted the attention of the Bavarian government, which viewed secret societies as subversive threats to the existing political and religious order. In the 1780s, Charles Theodore, the Elector of Bavaria, issued a series of edicts banning the Illuminati and other clandestine organizations. Authorities launched investigations, raided members' homes, and confiscated documents that detailed the society's operations. By the late 1780s, the Illuminati had been officially disbanded, and Weishaupt was forced into exile, living the rest of his life in relative obscurity. Although the Bavarian Illuminati was short-lived and officially ceased to exist, the society's legend endured. In the years following its suppression, conspiracy theories emerged suggesting that the Illuminati had merely gone underground, continuing to influence world events in secret. Some claimed that the organization played a role in the French Revolution, while others speculated that it had infiltrated various governments, financial institutions, and intellectual circles to subtly manipulate global affairs. These theories were fueled by anti-Enlightenment factions, including conservative religious groups and monarchists, who saw the Illuminati as a symbol of radical change and subversion. Over time, the term Illuminati became a catch-all for various conspiracy theories involving hidden elites controlling world events. By the 20th and 21st centuries, the Illuminati had become a fixture in popular culture, often portrayed in books, movies, and internet theories as a shadowy organization, orchestrating political and economic power behind the scenes. Despite the lack of historical evidence proving the Illuminati's continued existence beyond the 18th century, the idea of a clandestine group guiding global affairs remains one of the most enduring and fascinating conspiracy theories in modern history. Yet rumors persisted that the society had gone underground, continuing its influence in Europe and eventually making its way to America. By the late 18th and early 19th centuries, some people believed that the Illuminati had infiltrated the newly formed United States. Prominent religious leaders and politicians warned that this secretive group was working to undermine Christianity and establish a new world order. The fear of Illuminati influence reached such heights that in the 1790s, President George Washington himself addressed the rumors, dismissing them as baseless fears. Despite the lack of evidence, the idea of an American Illuminati controlling the nation's affairs never disappeared. Over time, conspiracy theories evolved to claim that the Illuminati had infiltrated key areas of society, particularly finance, media, and politics. Some theorists suggest that powerful banking families, such as the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, were either part of or controlled by the Illuminati, manipulating global economies. Others believe that U.S. presidents, from Thomas Jefferson to modern leaders, have secretly belonged to the Illuminati, using their power to steer policies toward a hidden agenda. The entertainment industry has also fueled these beliefs. Hollywood. Movies, music videos, and celebrity culture are often linked to the Illuminati in conspiracy circles. Symbols such as the all-seeing eye, pyramids, and pentagrams appear frequently in pop culture, leading some to believe that influential artists and filmmakers are either members of the Illuminati or are being used to push their message. Musicians, like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Kanye West, have been accused of embedding Illuminati imagery into their work, while films such as Angels and Demons and National Treasure reinforce the idea of secret societies operating in the shadows. So, is the Illuminati real? Historically, there is no concrete evidence that the Bavarian Illuminati ever continued to exist after its suppression in the 1780s, let alone that it spread to America and gained control over global affairs. Most of the claims linking the Illuminati to modern events rely on speculation, misinterpretation of symbols, and the human tendency to find patterns in chaos. The idea of a powerful, unseen force controlling the world is compelling, but there is no proof that such an organization actually exists today. Despite this, the Illuminati remains one of the most enduring myths in American culture. The belief in hidden elites running the world from the shadows is unlikely to disappear, fueled by distrust in governments, financial institutions, and mass media. Whether real or imagined, the Illuminati continues to captivate the public's imagination, serving as a symbol of the fear that powerful forces are shaping history beyond our control. Skull and Bones is one of the most exclusive and secretive societies in American history, known for its powerful members and mysterious rituals. Founded in 1832 at Yale University, this elite society has long been rumored to wield immense influence in government, intelligence agencies, and finance. Some see it as little more than a privileged networking club, while others believe it has played a role in shaping U.S. policies from behind closed doors. The society was established by Yale students William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft, father of future President William Howard Taft. Unlike traditional fraternal organizations, Skull and Bones limited its membership to only 15 elite juniors each year, ensuring a small, tight-knit group of future leaders. Over time, the society built a reputation for attracting the sons of wealthy and influential families, including powerful businessmen, Supreme Court justices, and U.S. presidents. Among its most famous members are several key figures in American politics. President William Howard Taft was an early member, and later, both President George H.W. Bush and his son, President George W. Bush, were initiated into the society. Former Secretary of State John Kerry, multiple CIA directors, and major Wall Street executives have also passed through Skull and Bones. The sheer number of high-ranking government officials tied to the group has fueled speculation that its members form a hidden power structure guiding U.S. policy. Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale University, has captivated public imagination for centuries, largely because of its deep secrecy, mysterious rituals, and the high-profile nature of its membership. Founded in 1832, Skull and Bones has attracted attention for its exclusivity and the influential positions held by many of its members. The society's operations are centered around an atmosphere of secrecy and an almost mythical status on campus, which feeds into the intrigue surrounding it. The group's operations are shrouded in mystery, and its members, often referred to as Bonesmen, have been drawn from the ranks of Yale's most elite students, including future political leaders, business magnates, and high-ranking military officers. The Society's headquarters is a building known as the Tomb, a windowless, fortress-like structure located on the Yale campus. The building's imposing, almost eerie appearance has contributed to the air of mystery surrounding Skull and Bones. The Society's meetings, which take place in the Tomb, are highly secretive, and little is known about what transpires inside. Access is strictly limited to members, and any details about the organization's inner workings are heavily guarded. The very existence of such an exclusive space, where powerful individuals come together to discuss their ideologies and plan their futures, fuels the public's fascination and suspicion. One of the most well-known aspects of Skull and Bones is its initiation rituals. While much of what happens behind closed doors is speculative, there are long-standing rumors and stories that have emerged over the years, some of which have been recounted by former members or alleged insiders. According to these reports, one of the key parts of the initiation ceremony involves new members, or initiates, lying in a coffin while confessing their deepest and most personal secrets. This act is said to symbolize the death of the initiate's former self and the birth of a new identity as a member of the society. The imagery of a coffin is both dramatic and unsettling, further contributing to the society's mystique and its association with death, rebirth, and transformation. In addition to the coffin ritual, rumors suggest that other aspects of the initiation process may involve symbolic rituals using skulls and bones, which play into the society's name. The use of such macabre symbols raises questions about the group's intent and whether these practices are meant to foster a sense of camaraderie and loyalty among members or to communicate deeper philosophical beliefs. However, since the rituals are conducted in extreme secrecy, much of what is known about them is based on hearsay and speculation, often colored by the media's portrayal of Skull and Bones as a sinister and exclusive organization. The Society's secrecy and its connection to some of the most influential people in American politics and business further fuel theories about its role in shaping global events. Over the years, numerous prominent members of Skull and Bones have ascended to positions of power, including former U.S. Presidents George H.W. Bush and his son George W. Bush, as well as figures such as John Kerry, the 2004 Democratic presidential nominee. The close ties between these members have led to theories suggesting that Skull and Bones functions as a kind of network or old boys club that helps its members navigate their careers and gain access to exclusive opportunities. Some critics argue that such networks, based on shared experiences and mutual loyalty, could have a significant, albeit subtle, impact on the political landscape. Despite the powerful figures associated with Skull and Bones, much about the society remains unclear, and it has been the subject of intense speculation and conspiracy theories. Some claim that the group's influence extends beyond Yale's campus, suggesting that Skull and Bones plays a behind-the-scenes role in shaping government policy, business decisions, and international relations. Others believe that the society's secrecy and the esoteric nature of its rituals are merely a reflection of the elite culture that permeates Ivy League institutions, where tradition, power, and secrecy have historically intersected. In the end, what makes Skull and Bones so intriguing is not just its membership or its potential influence, but the fact that it represents a world of extreme secrecy and exclusivity, an insulated space where power, tradition, and mystery converge. It's a society that has become a symbol of both privilege and conspiracy, and its elusive nature has made it a constant subject of fascination for outsiders, whether they are academic historians, political analysts, or conspiracy theorists. The combination of powerful individuals, secretive practices, and public speculation ensures that Skull and Bones remains one of the most enigmatic and enduring institutions in American elite culture. Another mystery surrounding Skull and Bones is the significance of the number 322, which appears in its official emblem. Some theories suggest it represents the death of the Greek statesman Demosthenes in 322 BCE, tying the society to a supposed lineage of elite rulers. Others believe it signifies a more sinister meaning, perhaps a ranking within a larger global order. However, no definitive explanation has ever been confirmed. So, is Skull and Bones a shadowy organization controlling American politics, or is it just an elite social club? On one hand, its members undeniably hold positions of great influence, and the society provides a powerful network for those within its ranks. However, there is little evidence to suggest that Skull and Bones actively conspires to shape government policies or global affairs in a coordinated manner. Most historians view it as an exclusive fraternity that helps ambitious young men advance in their careers, rather than a secret government within the government. Despite this, its reputation for secrecy, along with its connections to some of the most powerful people in America, ensures that Skull and Bones remains at the center of speculation. Whether it is simply an old boys club or something far more significant, its influence cannot be denied. The question remains, does Skull and Bones merely open doors for its members, or does it pull the strings of American power behind the scenes? The Knights of the Golden Circle is one of the lesser-known, yet fascinating secret societies linked to the Civil War era. Established in the mid-19th century, this pro-Southern group sought to advance the interests of the Confederacy in ways that extended far beyond the battlefields of the American South. The society's most audacious plans involved creating a vast empire dedicated to the preservation and expansion of slavery, not just in the South, but across parts of Latin America. While much of the lore surrounding the Knights has been exaggerated, their true impact on history is still worth exploring. The group was founded in 1854 by George W. L. Bickley, a physician and adventurer who was deeply committed to the Southern cause and the expansion of slavery. The society's original goal was to rally Southern sympathizers and create a golden circle of slaveholding territories stretching through the Caribbean, Mexico, and parts of Central and South America. The idea was that the Confederacy would expand its territory into these regions, ensuring the survival of slavery and creating a vast, pro-slavery empire that could rival the United States. Members of the Knights believed that the North's abolitionist movement posed a dire threat to their way of life, and that the only way to protect Southern interests was through expansionism and aggression beyond U.S. borders. Some of the Knights' most ambitious plans involved the invasion of Mexico and Cuba, territories that were seen as potential havens for Southern slavery. One of their most famous proposed actions was the invasion of Cuba in an effort to make it a new slave state. They also sought to influence Mexico's political landscape by backing certain factions in the Mexican Revolution, hoping to carve out a pro-Southern territory that could be absorbed into the Confederacy. While the Knights never fully succeeded in these endeavors, their plots demonstrated the lengths to which some Southerners were willing to go in order to protect their system of slavery. The Knights of the Golden Circle are often linked to some of the most enduring myths of the Civil War era, including tales of lost Confederate gold. According to legend, the Knights amassed a vast fortune in gold and silver during the war, which was hidden in various locations across the South in anticipation of a Confederate resurgence. Some even claim that infamous figures like Jesse James, the notorious outlaw, were involved in the effort to protect or recover this lost treasure after the South's defeat. These stories have fueled countless treasure hunts and speculations about hidden Confederate gold, though most of these tales are unsubstantiated and remain part of Civil War folklore. Despite their dramatic goals and intrigue, the Knights of the Golden Circle were ultimately unsuccessful. Their plans to expand slavery and create a pro-Southern empire never materialized, and after the Civil War, the group effectively disbanded. However, the society's legacy lived on in the myths and rumors surrounding its activities. Some historians believe that the Knights played a role in encouraging post-war Southern resistance, including the formation of groups like the Ku Klux Klan, which shared similar ideals about preserving white supremacy. Others argue that the Knights were little more than a fringe organization with grandiose ideas that never came to fruition. So, what's the truth about the Knights of the Golden Circle? The society certainly existed and had some influence among Southern sympathizers during the Civil War. They were involved in several real attempts to expand the Confederacy's influence beyond the United States, including the proposed invasion of Mexico and Cuba. However, many of the wilder claims, such as the vast treasure troves of Confederate gold or the idea that the Knights were secretly running a global conspiracy, are rooted more in legend than historical fact. While it is true that the Knights sought to create a slave empire, their actual impact on the course of the war and subsequent events was limited. In the end, the Knights of the Golden Circle were a secret society that operated in the shadows of the Civil War, driven by a vision of Southern dominance that ultimately never came to pass. The mystery of their lost gold and their connections to figures like Jesse James have become part of the larger mythos of the Civil War era, blending fact with fiction in a way that continues to captivate historians and treasure hunters alike. Beyond the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, and the Illuminati, there are several lesser-known secret societies that have captured the public's imagination. These groups, often associated with political elites, global finance, or esoteric knowledge, have fueled countless conspiracy theories. While some of these organizations undeniably exist and bring together powerful figures, the extent of their actual influence remains a subject of debate. One of the most mysterious gatherings of political and economic elites is Bohemian Grove. Nestled in the secluded redwood forests of California, this exclusive retreat has hosted some of the most influential figures in American history, including U.S. presidents, business moguls, and high-ranking officials. The Bohemian Club, which owns the property, was founded in the late 19th century as a private social club for San Francisco's elite. Every summer, a select group of men gathers at the Grove for what is described as a combination of relaxation, networking, and theatrical performances. What makes Bohemian Grove so controversial are the rumors of bizarre rituals performed there. The most famous is the cremation of care ceremony, in which members dress in robes and conduct a symbolic ritual before a massive stone owl. While the club insists it is a harmless theatrical tradition meant to represent the casting away of worldly concerns, conspiracy theorists claim it is evidence of occult practices or secret decision-making that affects global politics. Given the secrecy surrounding Bohemian Grove, the speculation continues, with some believing it is a modern version of an ancient mystery cult. Another group often associated with secretive global influence is the Bilderberg Group. Unlike traditional secret societies, the Bilderberg Group is an annual meeting of some of the world's most powerful politicians, bankers, CEOs, and academics. Established in 1954, the conference was originally meant to foster cooperation between Europe and North America during the Cold War. However, because the meetings are closed to the public and media, the group has been accused of orchestrating world events from behind the scenes. Bilderberg attendees include heads of state, NATO officials, and leaders of multinational corporations, fueling concerns that the group may be setting economic and political policies that affect billions of people without any democratic oversight. Critics argue that Bilderberg operates as an informal world government, shaping financial markets and geopolitical conflicts in secret. However, supporters claim that it is merely a high-level discussion forum with no official policy-making power. While no concrete evidence has proven that the Bilderberg Group dictates global affairs, its secrecy and the powerful individuals involved ensure that suspicions about its true purpose persist. On the more mystical side of secret societies are the Rosicrucians, an esoteric order that claims to possess hidden spiritual and scientific knowledge. The origins of the Rosicrucians date back to the early 17th century, when mysterious documents known as the Rosicrucian Manifestos began circulating in Europe. These texts described a secret brotherhood dedicated to enlightenment, alchemy, and the study of the universe's deeper mysteries. Unlike political secret societies, Rosicrucians focused on metaphysical knowledge, seeking to merge science, philosophy, and mysticism. Some historians believe that Rosicrucian ideals influenced the founding of America, particularly through figures like Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin, who were known to be interested in Enlightenment-era esoteric traditions. In the 20th century, organizations such as the ancient mystical order Rosae Crucis, AMORs, continued the Rosicrucian tradition, claiming to teach ancient wisdom that could unlock human potential. While the modern Rosicrucian movement is not as secretive as it once was, it remains a fascinating part of the larger web of mysterious societies that have shaped philosophical and spiritual thought. So, what's the reality behind these lesser-known secret societies? While groups like Bohemian Grove and the Bilderberg Group undoubtedly bring together some of the most powerful people in the world, there is little concrete evidence that they dictate global affairs in a coordinated manner. Meanwhile, the Rosicrucians represent a different kind of secret society, one that is more focused on hidden knowledge than on political influence. Whether these groups are truly shaping history or simply serving as exclusive clubs for the elite, their secrecy ensures that speculation about their true purpose will continue for years to come. Secret societies have long fascinated the public, with many believing that powerful, hidden groups manipulate world events from behind closed doors. While some of these organizations undeniably exist and have played a role in shaping American history, their actual influence is often exaggerated. The question is, how much of what we believe about secret societies is fact, and how much is fiction? First, it's important to acknowledge that many of these groups are real. The Freemasons, Skull and Bones, the Bilderberg Group, and Bohemian Grove are all well-documented organizations with verifiable histories. Some have had direct connections to influential figures. Several U.S. presidents and high-ranking officials have been members of secret societies. However, the notion that these groups actively control governments, economies, or global events is where speculation often outpaces reality. Take the Freemasons, for example. While they were an important fraternal organization during the founding of the United States and counted figures like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin among their ranks, there is little evidence to suggest that they secretly shaped American democracy. Many of the symbols associated with Freemasonry, such as the all-seeing eye and the unfinished pyramid on the U.S. dollar bill, are often pointed to as signs of a hidden agenda. But historical records show that these symbols were used for their broader meanings of enlightenment and strength, not as evidence of a Masonic conspiracy. Similarly, Skull and Bones, while an elite networking club at Yale, is not necessarily a shadow government. Its members have certainly gone on to hold powerful positions, but this is more a reflection of privilege and access rather than proof of a coordinated effort to control the country. The same can be said for the Bilderberg Group, which hosts meetings of global leaders but does not appear to function as a secret ruling council. If anything, these groups provide opportunities for the rich and powerful to network, rather than serving as headquarters for a global conspiracy. However, some secret societies did have real historical influence. The Knights of the Golden Circle, for instance, actively worked to support the Confederate cause and even attempted to expand slavery beyond U.S. borders. While their grand vision never materialized, they were a legitimate force in 19th century politics. Likewise, the Illuminati, though largely a myth in modern times, was originally a real organization in Bavaria that sought to challenge religious and political authority. The fact that these groups once existed has fueled speculation that they continue to operate in the shadows. One of the biggest reasons secret societies continue to be viewed as ominous is their portrayal in pop culture. Movies like National Treasure, The Da Vinci Code, and Eyes Wide Shut have reinforced the idea that powerful figures operate behind the scenes, controlling world events through elaborate rituals and hidden agendas. Music videos and celebrity culture also contribute to these theories. Symbols like the all-seeing eye, pyramids, and occult imagery frequently appear in entertainment, leading many to believe that celebrities are part of an Illuminati-controlled industry. Books, films, and conspiracy-driven media have ensured that myths about secret societies remain alive, even when historical evidence suggests otherwise. The appeal of these theories lies in their ability to explain complex world events in simple terms. Rather than randomness and competing interests shaping history, people find comfort in the idea that a small, powerful group is orchestrating everything. This belief persists despite a lack of proof. Ultimately, while secret societies have existed and continue to exist, their real influence is far less dramatic than conspiracy theories suggest. Many of these groups serve as exclusive clubs for the elite, rather than as hidden rulers of the world. However, their secrecy, and the human tendency to find patterns in the unknown, ensures that the myths surrounding them will likely never disappear. Whether based on truth or fiction, secret societies will continue to captivate the imagination for generations to come. Secret societies have long been a source of fascination, speculation, and conspiracy theories. Throughout American history, groups like the Freemasons, Skull and Bones, the Illuminati, and the Knights of the Golden Circle have captured the public's imagination. While some of these organizations undeniably played a role in shaping events, their actual influence is often misunderstood or exaggerated. The question remains, are these groups truly pulling the strings behind the scenes, or are they simply exclusive clubs for networking and social prestige? Looking back at the major societies we explored, we can separate fact from fiction. The Freemasons, while deeply connected to America's founding, function more as a fraternal organization than a secret government. Skull and Bones may groom future leaders, but there is no solid evidence that they control U.S. policy in a coordinated way. The Illuminati, as a real organization, died out centuries ago, yet its legend persists as an all-powerful force lurking in the shadows. The Knights of the Golden Circle had legitimate influence during the Civil War, but much of their story has been mythologized, especially the tales of hidden Confederate gold. Even groups like the Bilderberg Meeting and Bohemian Grove, which do bring together influential figures, operate more as discussion forums than as secret ruling councils. So, do secret societies still shape America today? That's where history meets speculation. While powerful individuals do form networks, and private meetings among world leaders certainly take place, there is no conclusive proof that these groups operate as shadow governments controlling every aspect of society. However, the secrecy surrounding these organizations fuels the belief that they hold more power than they admit. One of the biggest reasons these theories persist is because of how secret societies are portrayed in pop culture. Movies, books, and even music videos frequently reference hidden symbols and elite conspiracies, reinforcing the idea that these groups still control the world. Whether it's Hollywood films like National Treasure and The Da Vinci Code, or rumors of celebrities flashing Illuminati signs, these stories make secret societies feel more real than they likely are. But what do you think? Do secret societies still shape America today, or is their influence overstated? Let's continue the discussion in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's most mysterious organizations, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Check out our related videos on historical conspiracies and hidden figures in history. You won't want to miss them. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep questioning history.